Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to talk about Ludevic, but not really. I guess you can tell by the fact that Ludevic is not in the box. For 2 mana we get 2/3, and when Ludevic enters the battlefield or attacks, you mill a card. X, double blue, double black, you exile X creature cards from your yard. Transform it, X can't be 0. Activate as a sorcery. So this is what it's all about. Olog. So, whenever it transforms into Olog, it becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with it, except for the name and color and all that, zombie. And you put a 1/1 counter on it, equal to the number of creature cards exiled with it. So, you want to exile as many creatures as possible. So, we are chock full of creatures and ways to get creatures into the yard. As usual, let's go ahead and start with our mana production. I tried to use creature mana whenever possible. That way, when these things die, they count toward the, in the yard, and we can exile them. So, Mannequin, Alloy Mirror, Milliken, Ornithopter of Paradise. Deranged Assistant is perfect in the deck. It mills a card and gives you the mana. I mean, that's... Plague Mirror, it's going to die. We all know it. Leaden Mirror, Silver Mirror, Hedron Crawler. The Dreamscape Artist is not bad. It has the potential to turn every card in your hand into Harrow. And if those are creature cards, we're doubling up here. We're discarding a creature to get 1 land up. Then, of course, the Dimir Rocks, the Signet, Keyrune, and Locket. But let's look at some of our creatures, shall we? We have a bunch. Now, Stitcher Supplier does a good job by himself. Enters the battlefield or dies. He's going to die. I mean, we're going to sack him. But you mill 3. Consuming Aberration's a very good... each equal number of cards in your opponent's graveyard. So there's a few cards we're about to see that will help that. But it was blue-black, and I needed a big beater. Baleful Strix is a good early blocker, and it replaces itself. Swarm of the Bloodflies. That's a big line. Another creature dies. Wonder, of course, we want Wonder to die. We want all of these creatures to end up in the yard. So this is like the one deck where we can overcommit, and our opponents, if they wrath the board or whatnot, okay, that's fine. And then alternate abilities like Swamp Cycling here. We can pitch this to get a swamp at any time. The cards that come back from the graveyard, Persistent Specimen. I like the Ruthless Death Fang. When I lose, you lose, just like that. The Demon of Catastrophes, sack a creature. 6/6 Flying Trample for 4 and a creature is not bad. A Smothering Abomination. You got a sack, and then whenever you sack, you draw. Merfolk Looter. That's reaching way back there, I know, but it works. Draw a card and discard a creature. And we should never be hurting for land drops, Vampire Nighthawk, just an amazing card. Gravedigger, get something back. Dimir Infiltrator is our Transmute Tutor. I mean, yeah, you gotta go get a 2-drop, but maybe that 2-drop is Trishka Decaphile. Exactly 13 cards in hand, you win the game. I mean, that's another alternate win condition. Of course, we've got the Zulaport Cutthroat. Undead Butler. Enters mill 3. Yeah. Forbidden Alchemy. Just going to look at the top 4. Put 1 in your hand, the rest in your yard. Is that not beautiful? And it has flashback, so late game we can do it again. Blighted Agent. It's a good, cheap, unblockable infect creature. Yes, I have the Whispering Spectre in there as well, and the Plague Stinger. But Mirror Mad Phantasm, that's kind of a wonky card, and that's the reason why it's in there. Fleet Swallower. Now, I love Fleet Swallower. When it attacks, target player puts the top half of his or her library rounded up in their graveyard. You do not have to target an opponent. You can target yourself. That's a weird thing to wrap your mind around, I know, but if we're about to go big with Olag the next turn, it might not be a bad idea. Minderact Demon is going to continually fill that yard. Well, not continually, but Spectral Sailor, just a good cheap dude. Labman, because there again, another alternate win condition with this much mill and card draw. Might be a valid win con. Of course, Fallen Angel for a sack outlet, and to have some degree of a flyer. Tvisera Seer is amazing. Sack outlet. Phantom Warrior just can't be blocked. Necroplasm. It's a creature that, destroys things. And it has Dredge, too. That's the important part. Much like our Stinkweed Imp having Dredge of 5. It could be a vanilla text box and have Dredge 5, and it would make this deck. Just being able to put 5 cards in the yard. Do have a little bit of card draw. I skipped right over that, didn't I? The Notion Thief, I've got in there as card draw because you're going to get somebody once. And then it's probably going to die. Sell off Entomber. Doing what you want to do. You discard a creature, draw a card. Then we've got, of course, Sign of Blood, Night's Whisper, Final Parting, and Fact or Fiction. This also serves a purpose because whichever pile you don't get just goes to the yard. So I'll let them creatures hit the yard. Now, removal-wise, the Flesh Bag, because here again, it's offensive and defensive. It puts the Flesh Bag into our yard, but it also thins all the creatures by 1, right? As does the Slum Reaper and the Plague Crafter. Massacre Girl can just get serious. I don't... There's not a lot of times where Massacre Girl don't come down and just clear the board in a big game of Commander. Of course, Bone Shredder, this is exactly what we want. It's a 3-mana sorcery that puts a creature... Yeah. But then, Doomblade, Arcane Denial, and Negate round out the counter magic there. Now we have got our non-basic lands. Of course, we're going to start with the good old-fashioned command tower. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris, for the Pathway donation. We have the Choked Estuary, Ice Tunnel, Dimir Guildgate. I like those thriving lands in 2-color decks. I really like them. Do I not have the black one? Oh, okay. Dismal Backwater, Jawar Refuge, Mistvault Bridge, Submerged Boneyard, and Dimir Aqueduct. And that is it. That was pretty quick. We did the whole deck in 8 minutes. Of course, it's all about Ulag. Yes, I probably could have done some protection from Ulag. That's probably what a smart guy would have done. I ain't never claimed to be that. But I know it's been several days since my last video. Had a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world. So 861. This is 861. I must be not have a deck done yet. But so you're probably seeing this out of order. So I'm probably going to record 860, and then you'll see the weirdness happen on the wall. Anyway, thank y'all so much. I do want to show off something while I'm here, though. This just came to me in the mail. I just try to get it so there's no glare. My nephew painted that for me. It's beautiful. Carefully calm again. Anyway, that's what I have got for today. I do appreciate. But we're going to go ahead and... Because I've got another deck to do for yesterday. Or tomorrow. Depending on how you want to... Anyway. Thank y'all so much. But we're going to go ahead and shuffle and cut.